Hello, everyone. I'm Joy Larson Hidley, and it's an honor for me to be here tonight and be able to share a little bit of insights into the world of genetic testing and the role of genetic counselors. So I, too, should have a polling question for you. How many new genetic tests enter the market on a daily basis? Okay, you guys guessed pretty well. There's 10 new genetic tests that enter the market on a daily basis. So I'm going to be talking a lot tonight about, about how these tests and the complications that we're experiencing in the community and being able to incorporate all of this into standard care. So I'm realizing all of a sudden that I'm rather short and I'm having a hard time seeing my slides over the top of the podium. So traditionally when we think about inherited cancer risk, we typically talk about that 5 to 10% of families have a strong inherited component. But with the addition of the moderate penetrant genes into the next generation sequencing panel, what we're learning is that it's actually closer to 25% of families that have a hereditary component. So it does become pretty important to identify these families early in hopes to heighten surveillance and detect the cancers at a much earlier stage, offer some risk reduction surgeries, and then also be able to offer behavior modification or lifestyle choices. Because genetics is a bit unique, a blood test result in one person can impact the rest of the family as well, so it's important to identify those family members who may also have an inherited risk. Family history to me is the low-hanging fruit and is the core foundation of precision medicine. So the difficulty is in the busy practitioners' appointments, there's very limited time to accomplish all the tasks that are asked in that small window. So often family history is either not collected or it is minimally collected. So for these reasons, NSGC had published our own family history position statement at the end of October. And there's key differences between information that is collected for a triage family history and those that are collected for complete risk assessment. So the pedigree diagram that's here actually shows the amount of information that's required for complete risk assessment, and that's a 3 to 4 generation pedigree, as well as information needs to be gathered on all members of that family, not just the people in the family who've been diagnosed with the cancer, because that influences the risk assessment models. And again, even though it's 2015, we do need to be taking the family history on both sides of the family because we are still under-recognizing inherited risk from the father's side of the family. As a genetic counselor, when I'm talking about risk assessment, really all I'm referring to is we're reviewing that pattern of cancers that are in the family to determine the likelihood that there is an inherited risk factor that's contributing to what we're seeing. We need to develop a differential gene list so that when we're trying to select amongst the panel tests and things that are available, we need to make sure that any test that's selected has all of the genes on the differential, and then select the most appropriate person to do the testing. It may not be the person that's sitting right in front of me. It may be actually a relative instead. The world of genetic testing is under a rapid change, especially in the